Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Bunny and this is Bunny Awakens, where we talk all things spirituality, psychology, yogic philosophy. We talk about self-improvement, emotional intelligence, essentially all the things that go into us becoming the best, most aware versions of ourselves that are conscious and in control of the reality that we are so choosing. Today's topic is don't let your temporary comforts or pleasures become your prison. So a very common thing that happens is we will adapt to uncomfortable situations in our lives with addictions and bad habits. Maybe it's social media, maybe it's alcohol or nicotine or weed or shopping or gambling, whatever it is. And what these behaviors do essentially is that they give us a very quick escape and a very quick feel good feeling. So they're easy, it's easy to get that quick feel good feeling. But what happens is we actually, without the stimulate, without the exposure to the stimulus, without the activity, we will essentially drop below baseline and our dopamine levels. Why this happens on a neurological level, I'm not a neuroscientist. However, I could conceptualize the idea pretty realistically that when we engage in this behavior, we feel temporarily good. But we drop below baseline because we deep down know that this behavior isn't necessarily healthy. And so we feel guilt and shame. So it takes us from feeling really good to bringing us all the way down to a lack of stimulation, a lack of dopamine, and into this realm of guilt and shame. A really great thing you can do is choose a healthier form of dopamine seeking. If you are looking to find that sense of reward, you can pick an activity. Maybe it is cold plunges are a great example. You could do journaling, yoga, exercise. There's so many different things that you could do that are much more productive and will actually allow you to see that spike in dopamine, see that sense of reward. But unlike the quick fixes, the dopamine levels will gradually return to baseline over time. So it's much more sustainable, and you are kept from falling into this cycle of seeking. And this cycle of seeking that happens when we are kind of handing our power over to our addictive behaviors or habits, we see that quick spike in dopamine. And as soon as we're in the absence of it, we don't feel good anymore. And we just give our power over that thing because it's like, well, you're what makes me feel good. You're what makes me feel good. Not I'm what makes me feel good. Or, these productive choices that I'm making for myself to help me evolve or what makes me feel good. It's this bad habit or this pattern of dopamine seeking behavior that is giving us that feel good feeling. So I would recommend that if you are in a self-improvement journey and trying to maybe limit some of the bad habits or the addictive behaviors, acknowledge that it's normal. The human organism is designed to survive, and a lot of times these addictive behaviors or these bad habits develop as a coping mechanism to help us get away from something or feelings, a situation, and it is okay. Accept that, acknowledge that. Don't relish in this place of shame that you fell victim to an addiction. Like, it happens. Now you're in a position where you get to make a different choice going forward. If you want to, you can pick one thing, just one thing. Change isn't radical, it doesn't happen overnight. It is a continual process. And Rome wasn't built in a day? Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. And the best version of yourself wasn't built in a day. So don't expect to just wake up and instantly fix all of your addictions and be this, like, I don't know, like this perfect version of yourself. Like, that's not attainable, and that's not fair to put that pressure on yourself. So pick a single habit. Like, pick one habit you want to change. Maybe you want to spend less time on social media, and instead of spending, like, maybe delete the social media apps off your phone, and instead go to your local library, go to a bookstore, go to Amazon, and pick out a book that really interests you. And instead of social media, try reading. Maybe you pick a topic that fascinates you. Maybe you want to learn more about yourself, pick a self-improvement book. Maybe you want to pick something fun. I always recommend anybody who's getting into reading to always start by reading things that are fun and interesting. Don't start with something that's going to be a really hard read because it makes it difficult to get into reading. So yeah, that's just an example. But why I think we need to not just completely do away with a habit without replacing it with something else to fill our time is because if you say do away with social media, now you're left with this pocket of time that was once filled with social media. And if you don't replace it with something that's better, you could pick a hobby, any kind of a hobby that you either did as a kid, want to get back into, or a hobby that you just, it's like something new you want to try. Replace it with something that excites you and brings you joy. Because if you're just left in this state of the absence of the thing that was once causing me this spike of pleasure and pain cycle, then that can be productive, and it can be productive to sit there for a little bit, but it also can make it hard, and it makes it easier to fall back into that addictive behavior. So if you replace it with something in the beginning, with an activity or a hobby that brings you joy and fulfillment, I think it'll be a lot more sustainable over time to be able to get to know yourself, challenge yourself to do something new, challenge yourself to do something that you used to love, and ultimately you will explore more parts of yourself as an adult, and get to know who you are as a person, what you like, what you dislike, and it puts you into the driver's seat again. It puts you in charge of your reality. I'm picking the thing I want to engage with that's going to bring me joy. I'm not just handing my power over to an addiction. I think that's all I got to say on that topic. So I'm going to wrap this up. Wherever you are in your journey, I hope that you are having a great day. And if you're not, guess what? Tomorrow's a brand new day full of opportunities. So I bid you adieu. I'm not so sure that I said that right. But peace and love, friends. If you are new to my channel, I hope that you will subscribe if you want to see more of me. I encourage you to like this video and comment down below. Tell me what your thoughts were. Tell me if there's something, an activity or a hobby that you're looking forward to maybe trying this year. So, adios.